Uh, yeah, the hotspots picked it up.
They need to fix the.
Hey guys, I'm in the airport here at Abaco trying to hotspot as best I can. A couple of minutes of a show. I know we've been fighting our best trying to get on for the last month. I'm going to let Shauna tag everybody right now. Let them know that we are live. Uh, and so let me see if I can get Shauna the hotspot. Everybody, let everybody know that we are live. Uh, Let me just say good afternoon to all of you, those of you who are part of the National Access family. Being here in Abaco gives me a clearer understanding of all that we've been fighting, all that we've been talking about regarding one the immigration situation, plus what the government is doing to try to rebuild Abaco. What we found more than anything else is that uh, what we found is that uh, just as we suspected, there's no real plan, and so ad hoc is the order of the day. And we're hoping that we're hoping that most of all that has happened here in Abaco will be a testimony to the rest of the Bahamas in terms of being able to ensure that something of this nature never happens again. Uh, if you're on Veronica, please share with everybody else. Share the Facebook the show to Facebook, please. So we are on YouTube now, but please share the Facebook to everybody who's listening. But we are in the airport, and for the most part, we did our tour of what was the key. You can tell from all the buildings that are going that are destitute in Abaco right now. Those buildings have now been taken over by don't have any place to stay. For the most part, they are Haitians. The churches are filled with persons who have nowhere to stay. Uh, so many of the buildings that are compromised have been um, have been occupied by persons who have very little a place to stay and things of that nature. And so I am with Jeff Sands, and we are we are going to be leaving here probably very very soon. And so Operation Sub and Bahamas meeting is tonight, and that's part of the reason why we're trying to get back to Nassau ASAP to get the message out. Just see if we can get the chip. Come closer, come closer to me. Bring the chair right here. We're going to see if we get Jeff on the show, so Jeff can share kind of what he saw also uh, as part of the Operation Southern Bahamas team. Shauna, please, like and share the show so that everybody can know kind of what's going on. We want to say thank you to Sean Nixon, who's going to be bringing us back and forth um, in Abaco to give us an idea kind of what's going on. Sean Nixon is doing his part to get the message out that what's happening here is real. His home, his businesses, everything has been looted. We saw the places where all of the from the hardware store, where everything was actually taken from the hardware store. Uh, let's go to the government first of all. Jeff, what you're saying is an ad hoc situation. That's what we see the plans to give us an idea what the government will be doing. Let me make this clear. You can tell where they're putting the fence up around the mud.
Right.
What used to be the mud. You can see that, and so obviously that part of it is actually being done. They're putting the fence up around the mud. You would have seen from some of the videos that we would have sent that the government is putting up the videos around the mud and the peak to ensure that there's no construction going up. But there's no real plan regarding the tent city that's going on. We saw the spot that they cleared up for the tent city. And so, what did you see
Well,
while you were here, Jeff?
what I saw
Yeah.
was complete devastation of Abaco. You know, like I told you guys, I was here before. You saw my videos, and I did a lot of videos as it relates to the mud and peat. From what I've seen since I hit the ground on Abaco, it's complete devastation. There's debris everywhere, and it's not gonna be able to, in my opinion, be. This isn't going to be a 1 month effort or even a few months. This is going to take a sustained and a long effort to get Abaco back to where it should be. From what I've seen, and we rode around for quite some time, the place is to the point where if you knew Abaco before, this is a different Abaco. And so I think the effort that is going to be have to be put into the island of Abaco to bring this island back to some normalcy has to be an effort where the government put most or if not all of its focus right here into Mashaba. And right now, from what I'm seeing, Adrian, when we look around and we drive around, there's not only debris from, say, if you look at the structures itself, there's a lot of old cars lying on the side of the road. It's amazing how a hurricane can boot up an island, and cause such devastation to an island. It's amazing.
We're going to do Abaco, Jeff. We're going to do Grand Bahama, but for the most part, what we are understanding now, uh, you know, no one has ever shown us how to manage an archipelago. The Bahamas is an archipelago of nations and of islands. And what we're basically saying is the lack of planning for many, many years
Right.
when it comes to our family island Rock and Keys. We brag about the size of the Bahamas. But the plan to cause for us to be safe in our country is now been exposed. We know and understand that if you're living on the sand, if you're living on the rock, you know how dangerous it is with climate change and everything else that's happening. Nevertheless, this has happened, and the NGOs are still leading the way. I don't care what the government said. The NGOs are leading the way. Non-government organizations are leading the way in the restoration of Abaco. There are some persons who have suffered loss greatly here in Abaco. They still have not felt the love of the government of our country. Dr. Menace is, I don't want to say showboating, but for the most part, what he has is he has the title of Prime Minister. It's time for him now to be Prime Minister. He have the talk of management. That's time for him to lead. He's not led the way. And it's really, really, really sad to say that to anybody, but to the National Access Family and to those who are part of our grouping. Jeff, it is sad to know that this situation has not been led.
Yeah, it's obvious we can see that the persons who are spearheading this obviously isn't in tune with what is going on here. And what I would tell you, Adrian, is what I'm disappointed and surprised with is that I don't see the manpower or the forces that I should see on the ground with the amount of destruction that is in Abaco.
It's ridiculous.
We drove through. I haven't seen a group of persons here doing this and a group of guys there doing that. And that is what's so amazing about me. I mean, if the government continues to go with this slow space as they're going with now, this Abaco would never be restored back to its normalcy in the time that I think it should or could. This is ridiculous.
This is frightening. I see.
No plan.
Are you from Abaco?
I'm from Hopetown and Grand Bahama.
Are you
There's no
serious?
plan. What's the
What
plan?
what is the
what is your
plan?
name?
Chrissy Gate.
Come,
Oh, I
Chrissy.
can't. I have my back is so bad.
Your back is bad.
I can't.
Chrissy Gate is a resident of the area here, and you saying there's no plan.
Well, there's a plan for Marsh Harbor. The Outer Keys, they all have plans.
So why do you think they have plans with the other keys, but they have no plan for Marsh Harbor?
I don't really know if they don't have a plan for Marsh Harbor. Honestly, I'm pretty detached from that, so I really wouldn't say. I don't think the government has a big plan.
And so what caused you to draw that conclusion? Because you don't see anything going on, or?
I think it's just too big for them to handle.
Wow, guys, I want you to hear what we just said, because I don't want people to get this wrong.
What I for the government. However, had someone on retainer of one of these disaster relief organizations,
Right.
they use to deal with this right on from a call.
Actually, hold it down
Do
to
it
the
without having a big disaster relief organization lead the way.
And so,
They should be on a call. Forget stockpiling supplies.
Adrian, from what I'm gathering, what she is saying is obviously, like she said, this is way over the government say. This is way over the government say. I mean, it's obvious. So what I am saying,
It's crazy.
this is, I think, those situations where you have to depend on international agencies to come in here and sort of that hand that I'm sure the destruction, if the government don't get other people involved, other countries involved and assist with this cleanup effort and assist with restoring Abaco back to normalcy.
Take the money.
Even like you say, commerce right now in Abaco.
That's what happened in Hooktown.
They have an agency that's now relieving all the volunteers and taking over.
In Hooktown, but we are in Abaco, and I promise you guys that we're going to do some things to ensure that people are aware of kind of what's happening here in the country, and we want to ensure that every island, rock and key. We promise that from National Access, and so you're going to get from me everything that speaks to a visionary direction for persons who are living in the Bahamas. They ought to have some relief, and so what you're getting for the most part is this, guys. One, as Kate said it right. I've always thought that this was bigger than them, bigger than what we began to try to put together. And we need help. And that's the one thing I'm coming out of Abaco with. We need help. And it's not so much a scorn of the government, but it's a lack of planning on their part. It's to fix this. This is not a children's game.
It's out of their scope. So bring in people that can do it.
That's right. Skilled persons who would have been here before. I said in the beginning that, when Hurricane Irma took place and Katrina, contact the persons who would have helped to fix Katrina. Find out exactly what they did. See how we can all get very close to our breasts so that we can say to everybody else, we got it right. You can't get it right if you're doing it wrong. And so there's no wrong way to do a right thing. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the information to you so you would understand that for the most part, this thing has to happen according to a specific design. And you're an architect, you would know.
Yeah, and when I say, this is something that is massive. People don't appreciate the scale of what is going on here in Abaco unless you really come into Abaco and you see the destruction. This destruction that we have in Abaco is none like we have seen before. I've been through a few hurricanes, and you would see devastation to inner pockets of the city. But Abaco, especially Mashaba itself, is totally destroyed. I took you guys to the mud, and now that we can see the fact that the government is putting a fence around the mud. But as far as when you drive through Abaco, there's not enough manpower. I don't see these things happening. And so I believe that if the government continue at this pace, we're going to have a situation where Abaco is going to be in this slump for a long time.
Jeff and I got to get back to Nassau, guys. We wanted to give you a basic report out of the airport. I sent some videos so that you guys can see. We'll probably do something again when I get into the office in Providence. And so, guys, our next stop will actually be Grand Bahama. Yeah,
Right.
We'll go into Grand Bahama. Take a look at Grand Bahama. Let's be honest with the fact that the amount of deaths in Abaco and Grand Bahama is not yet been reported properly. I'm asking the government of Bahamas to man up with the level of deaths that have taken place here in Abaco and in Grand Bahama. The international community, we've been black-eyed in the international community, in our tourism sector. We've been punched to pieces simply because we don't know how to handle these basic things when it comes to restoration and reconstruction. And so we need to get the numbers right. We need to be able to say the families who are idiots looking like a banana republic in a capital growing nation, in a developing nation. And so I want to be very hard and very direct with that. As I get out here today, we have to catch a flight to get out of here. And so I want all of you guys, and my backside is being kicked by Facebook and everywhere else I go now, simply because of the strength of the shows that we're doing. I'm not going to compromise the standard of my nation. That's not going to happen. I'm never going to compromise. My convictions are intact. There's no amount of money you can give me to sell out my country. This is the only place I got. And so I want to make sure everybody knows. You're either going to get it right, Dr. Menace, or you're going to get left. We're telling you right now, we're putting you on notice that your time in office is done. And so let's get out of here. Let's jump on the plane, let's get out of here. Your time, and based on Abaco, Your time as Prime Minister is done. Let's get out of here.
Who are you?
My name is Adrian France. I do talk radio and I do live shows every day. And what we basically
Facebook, what do you go by on
Facebook, Adrian France or National Access.
National Access, right.
Okay.
And so
We are part of
we have an organization called Operation
Operation Sovereign Bahamas.
Operation Sovereign Bahamas.